Activate mask sequence.
Hi, in about 5 minutes I will have finished showing you how to take one of these, TouchDesigner, and a projector, and doing some augmented reality effects on it in real time. Here we go. Starting from the end of the last tutorial, we're going to turn off some stuff. I'm going to make it stop spinning by getting rid of the rotational variable. I'm going to get rid of the beavers by deleting this whole string. And I'm going to not have this show up on my second monitor by Alt-W and unclicking Enable and applying that. Now we need to get it out to the projector, so I'm going to pull up a window component, drag and drop my output on there, tell it to fill the area on monitor 2, which is my projector, no border, no cursor, open that window. There it is. And the scale is not quite right, so I'm going to pull up a transform here. Oops. Pull up a transform top, and we can play with the scale a bit to get that right. And I'm going to render it at my projector's resolution of 1024 by 768. But here's the real trick. I'm going to use my browser pane to pull up a tool that Derivative provides for us. It's a keystoner called the stoner. There it is. If I hook up a wire to the input and go inside the stoner, hitting enter, you can see there's lots of stuff here that we don't know how to handle yet. But I'm going to take this transform, right click on it, and tell the op to be an out. So now when we go up, I have an output connected here that I can hook up to my out, and we now have the keystoner connected directly to the output of my projector. If I right click over the keystoner and pull up native size control panel, you'll see that I have a control panel, which when I drag a control operates on the live output there. I'm going to pull this over to my second window here. That's most of it. Now the last thing is augmented reality is about taking 3D projection of on a 3D shape and manipulating elements about the virtual presentation onto the real presentation so it looks real. I'm going to take a light source and move it around all over the place on the virtual representation of this mask, which even though the projector doesn't move at all, will look surprisingly useful and realistic. So let's build some moving stuff. I'm going to need a noise chop that has two variables, X and Y. I'm going to want that to move in real time, so it's a time slice. You can see we have two smoothly moving variables. I want them to be over the range that I choose, which will be 0 to 50, let's say. And I'm going to hook that to a null for easy export. I'm going to export that to a null component. A null component is nothing, but it inherits all the transforms and all the aspects that you have in a real object. So I'm going to pull up my chop exporter and tell X to be X, and I'm going to tell Y to be Y. We now have a nothing that's moving all over the place. Now here's a nifty hierarchical inheritance thing. Because these components have vertical places where you can hook wires, I can now make the light the child of the null. Everything that's hierarchically under the null gets inherited, all the aspects get inherited by it. So now I have the light moving all over the place in real time. which you can sort of see is happening here, although it doesn't quite line up right. So through the magic of editing, might look something like this. And if you had more than 5 minutes, and were perhaps hired by a dance troupe called the Jabberwockies for a show at the MGM Grand in Vegas, it might look something like this. Thanks for watching.